Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and there is a new poll, and it's still disastrous for Humza Yousaf, and it's not going to improve given what's happened over the last few days as well. Going forward, it may well be absolutely worse for him come the next poll, because the figures themselves are pretty bad, but when you look at the breakdown of some of the questions asked, it will really, I think, radically change how Humza Yousaf needs to look at the things he's doing. We'll get into the numbers, but there was one statistic, I think, which is absolutely startling, standout. I think it's the standout stat of the piece, which we'll get to. But whatever it is, it's Humza Yousaf will likely not be leader for long. And if these polls continue, then a lot of the backbenchers, a lot of the people that are sitting there, they'll be looking at Humza Yousaf and thinking, you've done this. We were there and now we're here. And my job is on the line. I might not even have a job soon. I may well be voted out. And so it may be that the time has come and that Humza will be asked to resign, which is the polite way of saying fired. Let's take a look and see how bad it is for the SNP as we're moving ever closer now to the election. Here goes. Now, of course, as each day passes, each day we become one day nearer to the election, whenever it shall be. I still think and favour October, end of October, early November, but there are musings and rumblings that it may well be a May election, because Rishi Sunak was seen meeting with the 1922 committee. This is the Conservatives' backbenchers organisation. It's the largest, most powerful committee in the Tory party. And I'm wondering if perhaps it was him talking with them about the possibility of a snap election. Who knows? We won't know. We're not privy. But whenever it is, each day that passes, we're a day nearer it. And it's fewer opportunities for Humza Yousaf to turn things around. Also, and what will be in the minds, I think, of the backbenchers, both at Westminster and, of course, at Holyrood, will be that it's a day less that any possible replacement will have to shore up the party, to change its fortunes, to rebuild the support. And so I think that possibly by Easter, I think things will come to a head. If no election is announced before Easter, then I think it's fairly safe to say that the election will be in October. And I think that they'll say, well, that gives us sort of roughly 6 months. That gives us just about enough time to get rid of Rishi, I wish, get rid of Humza and get Kate Forbes in, give her that bedding in period, and then hopefully build support. That's how I'm reading it. I could be completely wrong. Of course I could. I'm not the Oracle at Delphi. I do not foresee, I'm not Cassandra. Who was it? Woe is me. Oh, the woe woman. Frankie Howard, wasn't it? Up Pompeii. I'm not her. I do not foresee the future. But I can read the runes and make it up as I go along. But yeah, I still think it's likely to be an October election. Anyway, failing Humza Yousaf is set to lead the SNP into a thumping landslide defeat at the general election. Yet another polling disaster for the hapless Nat leader, as Labour is on course to trounce his divided party at the general election, with the Tories and Lib Dems holding steady or even picking up seats. Now, it's the same old thing, and I'm not going to go through the whole of it. I've done my analysis there at the beginning. That's my reading. However, there are a couple of things that I'd like to just touch on. The Redfield and Wilton poll, for it was they what done it, actually represents a marginal improvement for Humza Yousaf's party. It's up by 1 point since the start of February, with Labour unchanged. The Conservatives are on 16, down 2, with the Lib Dems also down 2 points on 6%. Reform are unchanged on 4, tied with the Greens, which are up 2. Alex Salmond's party, Alba, bringing up the rear with just 1% of the Scottish electorate intending to vote for them. So all those people that have jumped ship to join Alex Salmond are likely to be very upset and saddened and unemployed come the next election. It's saying that if these results are reflected, then come the election, the SNP will only have 20 MPs. Now, that's more or less in line with what sort of the standard results been over the last 6 months in terms of polling. It's been steadily sinking, but this one may be the first little up. But, you know, you're going to get wobbles. But it seems to be around the 20 mark. Although with the word I'm looking for, tactical voting, we can make a big difference. We did the thing the other day showing you the percentages and the places where it's absolutely achievable and you can get the SNP out. So who knows, with tactical voting, it's possible, I think, to get them into single figures at Westminster. And if we did get them to single figures, it would bankrupt the party. They'd not get the list money. They'd not get the cut that they get, the 15% that they get from the MP's salaries. There'd be a lot of money disappearing like that. They wouldn't have as high profile a position. You're losing 8 are retiring, aren't they? 8 are retiring. 1 lost her seat and 1 jumped ship. MP wise, 2 jumped ship, shouldn't they? 1 went independent, 1 went over to the Tories. So they are a lot down on where they were anyway, and it's not looking good for them, which is great. But anyway, this is the figure that I said was quite astounding. It's the only one I really wanted to sort of hit ahead on. It said, of all the respondents, with regards to Scottish independence, of all the respondents, 16%, only 16% of people asked, said independence or the union was the most important issue. And that's across the board, across everyone. Of SNP voters specifically, only 25% of them. Only a quarter of SNP voters thought independence was important. Now, up here, what was the biggest one? What do you think was the biggest one? There you go. Economy. The economy, they're saying, is what it should be. And yet, the SNP are sitting there pushing independence all the time. But people don't care about independence. It's the economy, stupid, as Bill Clinton once said. When it comes to Holyrood voting intention, the SNP's lead over Labour has widened by 2 points to 4%, while Labour hold a 1 point advantage over the SNP in regional list voting. This suggests Holyrood is heading for a hung parliament in 2026, which will be a Labour parliament, because Labour will go in with the Lib Dems and with the Tories on a case basis, because they've already said that they would. They've already, not officially, there's no official allegiance, but they said that they would back a Labour Party, because the Tories would rather back a Labour Party government than an SNP one. Humza Yousaf's latest net approval rating is dismal. It's -16. It's up 1 from last month. But this was all done before the current scandal of the Gaza money. So let's see what the next one is. Meanwhile, 46% said they would vote no in a referendum, and only 43% said they would vote yes, with 11 yet to make their mind up. So still tight, still close, but still pro-union generally. Quick word here from Bailey and then we'll knock out, which is the poll shows that Scots want change and that people are turning to Scottish Labour to deliver it. Anna Sarwar is now leading Humza Yousaf as the people's preferred choice for First Minister. Well, the least bad choice of the bunch available, shall we say. I'll come up with a round off, we'll finish that. But yeah, it's really no change. I mean, there's a slight little bump up, but it's not what he needs. He needs huge rises, and it isn't happening. So, yeah, Mr. Soon to be out of a job coming up. So we've seen time and time again in a whole series of polls for a long time now that it's just wobbling along like that. You go up a little bit, down a little bit, up and down a bit. But what it's not doing is there's no big jumps. It seems to have hit rock bottom. I think you've reached minimum SNP support. And as I say, a little bit of tactical voting, we can get them down to single figures, and it is possible. Hold your nose and vote tactically. Get them out. Don't give them the satisfaction of getting into double figures and keeping some income. Get down to single figures and bankrupt the entire party. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.